Let's talk about this instant printer. Yeah, I built a 4x6 instant printer inside this case to take to Disneyland to take pictures of the Avengers and have them sign them. Let's get into it.
You know the type of guy that was a jock in high school but ended up becoming a huge nerd? You know, someone that's not afraid to make a fool of themselves on the internet. And someone that likes to shoot Polaroid a little too much. Did I say huge nerd? You know, just an ordinary, everyday guy. Well, that's me. I'm just another Chris.
Now this may look familiar if you've seen my recent video on me going to the Avengers campus on my first ever real mission as a S.H.I.E.L.D. agent. So I went and dressed up as an agent of S.H.I.E.L.D. and I was able to take pictures of the Avengers with my phone and then wirelessly print them on printer, which is concealed into this case. And then trying to get all of their signatures on the photo. And I gotta tell you, blew their minds to see that photo just a few minutes later.
Oh, you already got it printed. Oh my gosh, he actually has a printer in there. Yeah, little printer.
So inside this case right here is a Laney 4x6 printer, but not just any 4x6 printer, it's their M200. This is the M100, and the only difference between the two is one huge crucial thing I needed to make this work. And that is the M200 has a built-in battery. Yeah, built-in battery. That way you can take it into the field, see what I did there? And print photos without having the need to be plugged into a wall. Now, I've done testing of this printer a few times. You've probably seen the videos on the channel, but this was the first time I've actually been able to put it through real world extreme cases. No pun intended there. I was worried about the battery lasting for as long as I was there. And I was there for nearly 13 hours. Yeah, 13 hours in one spot at Avengers campus in Disneyland. Never left, stayed there, and the battery barely showed any use. This thing is pretty cool. Now, I was turning it on and off throughout the day. So let's talk about how I kind of constructed this. And to do so, let's flash back a little bit to when I was assembling this. Sometimes I impress myself. I can't believe I eyeballed that perfectly. Yeah, see, right in there, it should be right there. And it's nowhere to be lined up. But I was like, wait a minute, I took into the account for these. And these are gonna be in here mounted to the bottom of the printer. Put those in there. Look at that. Woo-hoo. I amaze myself sometimes. Before I put the adhesion for the locking Velcro, the Dual Lock 3M, it's not really Velcro. Velcro's a brand. This is this kind of like press board, particle board, and worried about it sticking. Now, a previous project from years and years ago. So what I found was I put a base layer of duct tape and it stuck ridiculously well. Still sticks to this day. So I'm gonna line the bottom of this case with duct tape, you know, just for some security purposes. You know, just to play it safe, because I don't think this cardboard is gonna hold up very well, since this is gonna be carried on its side. So yeah, let's see if this works. And the case itself actually had art supplies in it. I stripped it all out of there and ended up actually just sending that off to Dave, not Top. He paints stuff, so I sent that off to him. I didn't need it. But this case was pretty inexpensive with all the art supplies. It was like 25 bucks at Walmart. If I can find a link online to it somewhere, I will leave that down in the description below. But this thing held up tremendously. Being slung in a backpack, traveling to and from, barely any damage whatsoever. Maybe some scuffs and scrapes, but that only adds to the flavor of the prop, I think. Now, one of the struggles that I was having on getting this printer into this case was the fact that the way it prints, the way this works is it feeds it from the front to the back and goes in and out. Well, that adds a lot of space needed to make it work. I have two ports or slots or slits, if you will, on the printer case. And as you print, it will come out of the case, which at first I thought that might be lame. However, it kind of added to the fun aesthetic where people could be looking like, what is happening? And then the one on the front right here is for the final photo to be ejected out of the case. Now, when you open the case up, I had extra paper in here along with an extra cartridge. And you may notice I have this cardboard Velcroed inside of here with an arrow pointing forward. Well, the arrows is so I know which way this goes, but this is just for a little bit of insurance, because the way these photos come out, they don't come out flat, they come out a little angled. And I didn't want anything to catch inside the printer, so this acted more or less as a guide to make sure that the paper came out smoothly through the slot in the front. Printer itself, I have Velcroed in. It doesn't come out. but I'm still able to remove the printer to be able to replace the cartridge. And really, that's it. It's pretty basic, pretty easy. And then I just spray painted the Shield logo on here and I was good to go. And now I have a cool little display piece. I might just end up leaving the printer in here permanently. I already have another one. That way I have something cool to walk around with. But I just gotta say how much fun it was to do this. I really want to do it again. Seeing the Avengers reaction, and not just the Avengers, I mean, every single person that was just there, workers, guests, Avengers, they're seeing their minds just kind of blown, seeing a physical photo of me in the costume with the person. It was just, they couldn't quite comprehend how I was doing it, which fit right into the whole concept of being a secret agent of S.H.I.E.L.D., having some cool spy tech. It was so much fun, and I really, really want to do it again. But I gotta tell you, when you're dressed up looking like an agent of S.H.I.E.L.D., you run into a lot of people thinking, well, you work there. This has been super good here, honestly, and people have been loving it. We do not.
We don't work here, sorry. No, thank you.
Yeah, we've been getting that. Yeah, so I dealt with that a lot. I had to make sure I tell people that when I was there that I was just cosplaying, or as some people call Disney bounding. That was a new term that I learned while shooting this video. And the funny thing is, there was a lot of places where I would stand. One in particular, I couldn't stand in that one spot because I literally looked too official, and people would be coming up to me wanting to take my picture, and I did, but I eventually had to move away from those certain areas because I literally looked like I was like a cast member or a part of the campus itself, which was a fun problem to have, to be honest. It was really cool. And some characters are actually much more difficult to get in front of. Like when I was there, seeing Thor was kind of a tricky thing to get. So getting that photo was a little rough. However, since I was dressed up, they were kind of seeking me out, and they were remembering conversations that we've had just because I was there for so long. And they just played right into the whole character story, which was so much fun. And then once I got all the photos on the 4x6 that I could of the Avengers that were there that day, I switched over to the Polaroid and was shooting round frame. I can't believe I didn't think of it sooner. It's so cool because I shot the photo with round frame, had them sign it as well, and it kind of looks like a profile photo. And I'm gonna do that next time, for sure, with all of them. I think that's pretty fun too. I'd love to know your thoughts on that. Let me know what you think about this idea also, just in general. Are you gonna do this? Do you have a way I could improve upon it? Leave some comments below. Let me know, because I think I'm gonna do this again. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Now, get out there, make some art.